What's good? Salute everybody. It's your man Server Kane. Tell you what it do. And I want to put y'all up on Earl Nightingale. These some cats that I listen to. And just want to put y'all up on some game. Because most people don't know this. Shouts out to Rave with the early, with the early walk in. Shouts out. You know what I'm saying? I wait for my other phone to charge up, so I'm gonna talk briefly a little bit and play a couple tracks. You already know how the game go. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Earl Nightingale and getting people to look within. I'm can't be on here too long because they say I'm down like 4 hours. Shouts out to Crystal, it's cool. What's good? Much love. Everybody get up to some Earl Nightingale. I just want to let people know, like the people that I like listen to and read and be like, a hurricane is a revolutionary, but he's centered and balanced, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to be. I try to be, centered in this shit. And I know people think the revolutionary is going off the rails, but I don't think so. I think we need this. And doing a lot of inner work and shadow work it's just leading towards a conclusion of just being righteous vengeance and divine judgment, because it's just like I don't want to destroy everything for my own personal and selfish reasons. I wanted to motherfucker destroy this fucking government and the governments around the world, because we are not fucking free, but we are free of the bullshit that's trying to distract us. We are free, like we just got to see it that way. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, they're killing us through the food, through the water, through the air, through disease. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, we can be free mentally, but we want to be free to breathe clean air and drink clean water. But solution, grab some land, build some solar panels, get a water filter and some Wi-Fi. And a couple tiny homes that you put together and make like a little mini mansion shit. You know what I'm saying? There's solutions. But what's the use of doing all that when the government could just fly over your head and drop a fucking spray on your ass from a chemtrail drone? Or do us like they did on the Black Wall Streets across the country. You know what I'm saying? It's like, goddamn, like when we try to get away from the bullshit, they come to your doorstep with bullshit. So this is why I say eradicate the evil on this planet. But back to the yeah, free from the IRS shit. Yeah, hell yeah. I was thinking about the movie Set It Off. You said IRS. The motherfucker though, the janitor motherfucking manager guy, he was like, on this good earth, there's 3 people I don't mess with. The I, the aura, and the S. It was like, well, if you don't like working for Luke's Janitorial, then I advise you to take your broke ass home. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and get back to work. Like, come on, Luther, that ain't right. Get back to work. He told Queen Latifah, he was like, who's supposed to be a goddamn Mighty Morphin fucking Power Ranger? What you gonna do? I'm docking her pay. I'm fucking wrong. Oh man, that movie is still a classic. But I'm about to get off into a song. But now I'm trying to upload my new track to get everybody to hear it. I guess y'all just got to go to my shorts. They trying to tell me you gotta upgrade your plan to motherfucking download videos now. I'm like, oh, ain't this a bitch? At first, they didn't have it. Then they give us the shit. Then you take it away. Now the only way to motherfucking upload new songs to StreamYard is to upgrade my plan. Y'all motherfuckers some hoes. I think it's because of my last 2 Fuck the Government podcasts. Yes. Yes, I'm too my own horn on this one. I ain't pat myself on the back. I think maybe like once. So this is my second pack this year. 2 Fuck the Government podcasts, real shit. These motherfuckers damn near the 300 club. or like a little past it. I'm like, whoa. And plus, a chick in the comments was like, yo, this was recommended. Like, whoa, when did my fuck the government podcast is getting recommended to people? That shit is brand fucking new. So not only you getting good content and good informative information, and you getting some good music that's anti-government, even the phone agrees. You know what I'm saying? Now, shouts out to everybody coming through. Crystal is cool. You so cool for coming through. About to get up into a couple songs, and then we're going to listen to Earl Nightingale. Uh-oh. I think my shit fucking up. Please don't be fucking up. There we go, I think. I think it's cool. Okay, I think it's there. What the hell is it? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. They on some bullshit. Over this motherfucking shit. I can't even download a new song for y'all. You know what I'm saying? They talk about, you got to upgrade your plan now. So all the music that I got left on my shit that I already got to download is going to be the music y'all hear and all the clips and shit. So it's like, goddamn, even the phone agrees again. But they on that bullshit. So hashtag fuck motherfucking StreamYard and YouTube for doing that. They're just gonna force a nigga to upgrade the plan. But guess what? I'm not upgrading shit. Now I know I'm wasting time. I should have got to this shit. I know I don't got really that much time on this bitch. Well, let's get to it. Revolutionary story. Wait a minute. What the hell? The free plan comes with an example. Shit. Wait a minute. You telling me I can't play my shit now? I'm trying to play my song. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's some bullshit. I can't play my track? Oh, now I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed. Now I am super fucking pissed. Holy shit. I can't play no music for y'all. God damn. God fucking damn it. Ain't this a bitch? Oh, hell no. For real. Like the chick off of Girlfriends. Oh my. Oh, hell no. I can't play no fucking music. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. I know motherfuckers sitting behind their YouTube seats like, yeah, this poor ass nigga don't got the upgraded plan. Okay. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. It's all fucking good. I can't even play in the background because you know how StreamYard is with the motherfucking sound quality of playing other music in the background. You can barely fucking hear it. So you don't try harder, you try smarter. Right? Yeah. I might have to get that upgrade, but guess what? I don't got a fucking credit card. I'm not paying no fucking plan every month for some shit that can fuck up on me at any point in time and kick me out my shit. I'm not doing that. It's okay. Hell no, it ain't okay, nigga. I feel like Samuel Jackson in this bitch. What up, though? What up, though, bro? Yo, man, I can't play no music. I can't even upload a fucking video no more. They talking about I gotta upgrade my motherfucking plan. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Those motherfuckers saw those last two fuck the government podcasts and said, yo, nigga, Hurricane can't do none of this shit no more. Not for free. We gotta motherfucker stop that nigga for a minute until you get his shit. Like, look, real shit. If I had a credit card, I'd probably motherfucking try to upgrade to the plan, like, just to be like, you know, fuck y'all bitches, I got money. But I'm broke, nigga, I'm broke on some Dave Chappelle shit. So I guess it's gonna go back to the beginning on how I motherfucking first started this fucking government podcast. I ain't had no music. You know what I'm saying? You know, but when I found out that I could put music on the motherfucking shit and play it, you know, I thought that was a cool feature. Now for them to take it away from the free shit when they didn't say that this was going to be here for a limited time, they just automatically took it away. That's the bullshit that I hate, because this shit was not advertised for a limited time. For them to take it away, it's no different from when YouTube be putting up different rules and guidelines under our noses without telling us, and we motherfucking lose channels and lose videos and get strikes for some bullshit that happened years ago. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is another suppression, you know, freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Damn, I didn't mean to rhyme, but fuck it, you gotta learn the lesson. Damn, still rhyming. Fuck it. I'm like Bullhorn from Black Dynamite. But anyway, I find that to be bullshit, and yes, I am going to be pissed for the rest of the day. I want to play fuck the police so fucking bad. I want to play fuck the law so fucking bad. But I guess it is what it is. So we're gonna listen to Earl Nightingale, then right, typical shit, right? Yeah. So we're gonna listen to Earl Nightingale. And plus all I can say is, like, fuck it. It's like, I can always go to my music playlist and listen to my tracks. But I guess StreamYard, or or the motherfuckers in big tech told StreamYard, yo, nigga, take that fucking free feature off. They want to do that shit, they gotta upgrade. You know what I'm saying? I think motherfuckers came to those niggas and said that shit because of not just my channel, I'm just tooting my own horn, but many other channels that was utilizing that feature to get their message out there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it ain't just me. A whole bunch of people just went through this. You know, a whole bunch of people just went through this, finding this shit out. So, you know, I know they probably heated. I might find some videos on them taking away the feature, or maybe I might be the first one or the only one to talk about it. But I am pissed. I am fucking pissed right now. Oh, like real shit. You know, like at first I thought, okay, cool. I can't upload a video unless I go on motherfucker upgrade. But to play my shit, oh fuck this. Fuck this. And I know how to read. So I don't know what the fuck going on, but listen to Earl Nightingale. These are the people that I listen to. I listen to Earl Nightingale, Alan Watts, you know, Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, you know, you know, but with Earl Nightingale, it's just like something different about Earl Nightingale. It's just like something that resonates. You feel me? It's just always some shit that resonates. Alan Watts got some good shit, but Earl Nightingale is just, yo, fire. Earl Nightingale is fire. But Earl Nightingale, Alan Watts, Brother Panic, Bobby Hemmett is like my main foe. And when it comes to books, I read the Book of Illumination by Alberto Villaudio. I read Bruce Lee philosophy books. I think like the Way of the Warrior, you like the Musashi book or something, I follow the code of the samurai and the Way of the Warrior and all this shit. The Buddha, I forgot, I think it's called the Mantra or some shit like that. Like I read the Mahabharata too. I need to go back to it. And I need to read the Bhagavad Gita. And I just try to read some shit that's enlightening. But this is Earl Nightingale, and this shit came out in 1957, and I think this shit still remains true. It's called The Strangest Secret.
Some years ago, the late Nobel Prize-winning Dr. Albert Schweitzer was being interviewed in London, and a reporter asked him, "Doctor, what's wrong with men today?" And the great doctor was silent a moment, and then he said, "Men simply don't think." It's about this that I want to talk with you. We live today in the golden age. This is an era that man has looked forward to, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it's here, we pretty well take it for granted. We in America are particularly fortunate to live in the richest land that ever existed on the face of the earth, a land of abundant opportunity for everyone. But you know what happens? Well, let's take 100 men who start even at the age of 25. Do you have any idea what will happen to those men by the time they're 65? These 100 men who all start even at the age of 25 believe they're going to be successful. If you ask any one of these men if he wanted to be a success, he'd tell you he did. And you'd notice that he was eager toward life, that there was a certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they're 65, one will be rich, four will be financially independent, five will still be working, 54 will be broke. Now think a moment. Out of the 100, only five make the grade. Now why do so many fail? What has happened to the sparkle that was there when they were 25? What's become of their dreams, their hopes, their plans? And why is there such a large disparity between what these men intended to do and what they actually accomplished? When we say about 5% achieve success, we have to define success. And here's the best definition I've ever been able to find. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If a man is working toward a predetermined goal and knows where he's going, that man is a success. If he's not doing that, he's a failure. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Rollo May, the distinguished psychiatrist, wrote a wonderful book called Man's Search for Himself. And in this book, he says, the opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It is conformity. And there you have the trouble today. It's conformity. People acting like everyone else without knowing why, without knowing where they're going. Now think of it. In America right now, there are over 18 million people 65 years of age and older. And most of them are broke. They're dependent on someone else for life necessities. Now, we learn to read by the time we're 7. We learn to make a living by the time we're 25. Usually by that time, we're not only making a living, we're supporting a family. And yet by the time we're 65, we haven't learned how to become financially independent in the richest land that has ever been known. Why? We conform. And the trouble is that we're acting like the wrong percentage group, the 95 who don't succeed. Now, why do these people conform? Well, they really don't know. These people believe that their lives are shaped by circumstances, by things that happen to them, by exterior forces. They're outer-directed people. A survey was made one time that covered a lot of men, working men, and these men were asked, why do you work? Why do you get up in the morning? 19 out of 20 had no idea. If you ask them, they'll say, well, everyone goes to work in the morning, and that's the reason they do it, because everyone else is doing it. Now let's get back to our definition of success. Who succeeds? The only person who succeeds is the person who is progressively realizing a worthy ideal. It's the person who says, I'm going to become this, and then begins to work toward that goal. I'll tell you who the successful people are. A success is the school teacher who's teaching school because that's what he or she wants to do. The success is the woman who's a wife and mother because she wanted to become a wife and mother and is doing a good job of it. The success is the man who runs the corner gas station because that was his dream. That's what he wanted to do. The success is the successful salesman who wants to become a top-notch salesman and grow and build with his organization. A success is anyone who is doing deliberately a predetermined job because that's what he decided to do deliberately. But only 1 out of 20 does that. That's why today there isn't really any competition unless we make it for ourselves. Instead of competing, all we have to do is create. Human being. So the key I wanted to know which the future was that we could foretell to a large extent. Was there a key that would guarantee a person's becoming successful if you only knew about it and knew how to use it? Well, there is such a key, and I found it. Have you ever wondered why so many men work so hard and honestly without ever achieving anything in particular, and others don't seem to work hard, yet seem to get everything? They seem to have the magic touch. You've heard them say that about someone. Everything he touches turns to gold. And have you ever noticed that a man who becomes successful tends to continue to become successful? And on the other hand, have you noticed how a man who's a failure tends to continue to fail? Because of goals. Some of us have goals, some don't. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. It's that simple. Think of a ship in the harbor and think of it with a complete voyage mapped out and planned. The captain and crew know exactly where it's going and how long it'll take. It has a definite goal. 9,999 times out of 10,000, it will get to where it started out to get. Now let's take another ship, just like the first, only let's not put a crew on it or a captain at the helm. Let's give it no aiming point, no goal, no destination. We just start the engines and let it go. I think you'll agree with me that if it gets out of the harbor at all, either sink or wind up on some deserted beach at there. It can't go any place because it has no destination and no guidance. And it's the same with a human being. Now let's get back to the strangest secret in the world, the story that I wanted to tell you today. Why do men with goals succeed in life and men without them fail? Well, let me tell you something which, if you really understand it, will alter your life immediately. If you understand completely what I'm going to tell you from this moment on, your life will never be the same again. You'll suddenly find that good luck just seems to be attracted to you. The things you will just fall in line, and from now on you won't have the problems, the worries, the gnawing lump of anxiety that perhaps you've experienced When things of the past. Here's the key to success and the key to failure. We become what we think about. Let me say that again. We become what we think about. Throughout all history, wise men and teachers, philosophers, and prophets have disagreed with one another on many different things. It's only on this one point that there is unanimous agreement. Listen to what Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Disraeli said this. Everything comes if a man will only wait. I brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stay even existence for its fulfillment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this, a man is what he thinks about all day long. The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. And he also said, we need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing into such a connection with our life that it will become real. It will become so knit with habit and emotion that our interest in it will be those which characterize belief. And he also said, if you only care about the result, you will most certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strongly. In the Bible, you read in Mark 9:23, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. My old friend Dr. Norman Vincent Peale put it this way. This is one of the greatest laws in the universe. Fervently do I wish I had discovered it as a very young man. It dawned upon me much later in life, and I found it to be one of the greatest, if not my greatest discovery outside of my relationship to God. The great law, briefly and simply stated, is that if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. That is the simple fact, he went on to say, which is at the basis of an astonishing law of prosperity and success. In 3 words, believe and succeed. William Shakespeare put it this way, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we often might win by fearing to attempt. George Bernard Shaw said, people are always blaming circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Well, it's pretty apparent, isn't it? And every person who discovered this for a while believes that he was the first one to work it out. We become what we think about. Now, it stands to reason that a person who's thinking about a concrete and worthwhile goal is going to reach it, because that's what he's thinking about. And we become what we think about. Conversely, the man who has no goal, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion and anxiety and fear and worry, becomes what he thinks about. His life becomes one of frustration and fear and anxiety and worry. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing. Now, how does it work? Why do we become what we think about? Well, I'll tell you how it works as far as we know. Now, to do this, I want to tell you about a situation that parallels the human mind. Suppose a farmer has some land, and it's good fertile land. Now, the land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care. It's up to the farmer to make the decision. Now, remember, we're comparing the human mind with the land because the mind, like the land, doesn't care what you plant in it. It will return what you plant. It doesn't care what you plant. Now, let's say that the farmer has 2 seeds in his hand. One is the other is nightshade, a deadly. He takes 2 little holes in the earth and he plants both seeds, one corn, the other nightshade. He covers up the holes, waters, and takes care of the land. And what will happen? Invariably, the land will return what's planted, as it's written in the Bible, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Remember, the land doesn't care. It'll return poison in just as wonderful abundance as it will corn. So up come the 2 plants, one corn, one poison. Now, the human mind is far more incredible and mysterious than land, but it works the same way. It doesn't care what we plant. Success, failure. It comes with goal or confusion, misunderstanding, fear, anxiety, and so on. But what we plant must return to us. You see, the human mind is the last great ultimate on earth. It contains riches beyond our wildest dreams. It will return anything we want to plant. And you might say, well, if that's true, why don't people use their minds more? Well, I think they figured out an answer to that one, too. Our mind comes as birth. It's free, and things that are given to us for nothing we place little value on. Things that we pay money for, we value. The paradox is that exactly the reverse is true. Everything that's really worthwhile in life came to us free. Our minds, our souls, our bodies, our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions, our intelligence, our love of family and children and friends and country, all these priceless possessions are free. The things that cost us money are actually very cheap and can be replaced at any time. A good man can be completely wiped out and make another fortune. He can do that several times. Even if our home burns down, we can rebuild it. But the things we got for nothing, we can never replace. The human mind isn't used because we take it for granted. Familiarity breeds contempt. It can do any kind of job we assign to it, but generally speaking, we use it for little jobs instead of big important ones. Universities have proved that most of us are operating on about 10% or less of our abilities. So decide now, what is it you want? Plant your goal in your mind. It's the most important decision you'll ever make in your entire life. What is it you want? You want to be an outstanding citizen? A better worker at your particular job? You want to go places in your company, in your community? You want to get rich? All you've got to do is plant that seed in your mind, care for it, work steadily toward your goal, and it will become a reality. It not only will, there's no way that it cannot. You see, that's a law, like the laws of Sir Isaac Newton, the laws of gravity. If you get on top of a building and jump off, you'll always go down. You'll never go up. And it's the same with all the other laws of nature. They always work. They're inflexible. Think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way. Picture yourself in your mind's eye as having already achieved this goal. See yourself doing the things you will be doing when you've reached your goal. Ours has been called the phenobarbital age, the age of ulcers and nervous breakdowns and tranquilizers. At a time when medical research has raised us to a new plateau of good health and longevity, far too many of us worry ourselves into an early grave, trying to cope with things in our own little personal ways without learning a few great laws that will take care of everything for us. These things we bring on ourselves through our habitual way of thinking. Every one of us is the sum total of his own thoughts. He is where he is because that's exactly where he really wants to be, whether he'll admit that or not. Each of us must live off the fruit of his thoughts in the future, because what you think today, next month, and next year will mold your life and determine your future. You're guided by your mind. I remember one time I was driving through eastern Arizona and I saw one of those giant earth-moving machines roaring along the road at about 35 miles an hour with what looked like 30 tons of dirt in it. A tremendous, incredible machine. And there was a little man perched way up on top with the wheel in his hands guiding it. And as I drove along, I was struck by the similarity of that machine to the human mind. Just suppose you're sitting at the controls of such a vast source of energy. Are you going to sit back and fold your arms and let it run itself into a ditch? To keep both hands firmly on the wheel and control and direct this power to a specific, worthwhile purpose? It's up to you. You're in the driver's seat. You see, the very law that gives us success is a two-edged sword. We must control our thinking. The same rule that can lead a man to a life of success, wealth, happiness, and all the things he ever dreamed of for himself and his family. That very same law can lead him into the gutter. It's all in how he uses it, for good or for bad. This is the strangest secret in the world.
And that was Earl Nightingale. That's who I listen to. I listen to Earl Nightingale, Alan Watts, Brother Panic, R.I.P., and Bobby Hemmett. And I read a lot of other books. Illumination by Alberto Valadio. To read The Way of the Warrior. And we already know, read The Art of War, read the 42 Laws of Power, 33 Strategies of War. Like read Buddha shit. But I got one more for everybody. Brother Panic, yeah, all day, man. R.I.P. for sure. You already know. The Occult Rejects. Is that a channel? It sounds like a good channel. The Occult Rejects sound like a cool channel and a rock group at the same time. But the Devil's Rejects, nigga, that movie was the shit. That movie, dog, like real shit. If it wasn't for that movie, I would never I would never knew about Rob Zombie's catalog of other movies. I was like, this motherfucker is a beast. And plus he always throw his wife in it and shit, and she's always freaky. I'm like, yo, I think you want your wife to get smashed. I'll be surprised there's a secret Rob Zombie video out there. But his wife just going crazy behind the scene because she was wild in that fucking movie. He was wild like a motherfucker. But that was Earl Nightingale. Now I think this video is important too. And it's about doing that inner work, doing that shadow work, you know what I'm saying? On why the powers that be fear people like us that actually do the work. Okay, here we go. I just gotta up the shit right here. Here we go. Let's get it. Oh yeah. For those that came in, StreamYard is on some bullshit. I can't upload new music, play my music. I'm heated about that. They talk about you gotta upgrade that fuck the government podcast. That shit ringing the motherfucking truth. But I can't get entirely upset because when I first started the Fuck the Government podcast, I wasn't playing music because they didn't have the feature. But like when they added the feature, I could upload music and play it during my stream. You know, like I thought it was a cool feature, but like for them to take it away without saying that this shit was for a limited time, like a McRib, I'm heated. But like at the same time, it started with no music. I guess they're gonna end it with no music until I upgrade a plan. This is just a minor inconvenience. You know what I'm saying? You know, but like if I get a credit card, I'll be able to do it. Like right now, like if I had my old job, I would have been able to do it. I'd be able to upgrade to a plan. But my new job, we actually getting paper checks. Like we don't get the cards on our checks. I'm like, shit, this is tangible. I can keep the receipt instead of being fucked over by a system that can cut off and you lose all your money. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the jobs that's still giving out paper checks. Yeah. Let me know. It's like punching the old clock back in the day. But here we go. Oh yeah, and I also listened to Frederick Nietzsche and plus a guy that I just found out about. I put it in my community post. I think his last name is Hagel. It, straight up on my level of thought. Like, yo, you know, but yeah, here go Friedrich. He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. Hell yeah, nigga, like punching the clock. I want to see that time. I want to see time stamp. Fuck that digital shit. Nigga, the fuck computer can shut down overnight where everybody sleep, getting ready to wake up, thinking they got their motherfucking money on their card 5, 6 in the morning to go get gas and shit, or go grab some snacks, get ready for work, find out ain't nothing on you. 1,000 motherfuckers calling the job like, nigga, my card is fucked up. They're like, we're sorry, you gotta wait a week. Bitch.
Picture this. The world is panicking. Everyone's reacting to something, a headline, a scandal, a trend, a tweet. The crowd is loud, needing a leader, needing a villain, needing a reason to feel right. One person says what they think.
Hell
Thousands follow. Another gets canceled and thousands disappear. But in that noise, there's him. He's not arguing. He's not performing. He's not chasing applause or bracing for criticism. He's just standing still, not frozen, aware, not passive, powerful. Because real power isn't loud. It's not reactive. And it's not found in trying to control others. It's found in refusing to be controlled by them. You don't need to scream at the system to defy it. You don't need to burn it down to escape it. You simply have to stop playing the role it wrote for you. You don't chase the likes. You don't beg to be seen. You don't flinch when they disapprove. And suddenly, you're not in the game anymore. You're not a piece on the board. You're watching from above it. Because when you no longer react how they expect, you become unpredictable. And when you're unpredictable,
that was a lot of confirmation.
This is what terrifies every system built on obedience. Every structure that profits from your fear. Every culture that demands your agreement. So ask yourself, why does someone who simply governs their own emotions, who doesn't seek validation, who can pause before they act, become a threat to the world around them?
Maybe because they've already done the one thing society never prepared them for. They've taken back control of their mind, of their choices, of themselves. And that is the beginning of true freedom. You don't need chains to be ruled. Not anymore. All they need is your reflex. See, society doesn't govern you with force. It governs you through your patterns. It doesn't care what you believe, as long as it knows how you'll react. And that's the trick. You're not being threatened. You're being programmed to want the right things: success, status, love, as they define it, to fear the right things: rejection, failure, disapproval, and to follow the herd, because standing alone feels dangerous. You think you're making choices, but most of the time, you're just responding to invisible cues. An ad flashes, you feel lacking. Someone frowns, you feel shame. A trend surges, you feel pressure to catch up. But none of that is you. It's stimulus, it's wiring, it's unconscious pattern. And until you see it, you can't escape it. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Let that sink in, because the system doesn't control you by holding you down. It controls you by predicting you, by getting you to live on autopilot, thinking you're free, while reacting exactly as planned. And here's the most dangerous part. You think you're following your dreams, but they were sold to you. You think you're chasing meaning, but it's someone else's definition. The world feeds you a script, then rewards you for never questioning it. And as long as your desires are unexamined, as long as your fears remain unconscious, you are not acting. You are being acted upon. But once you pause, once you observe the reflex instead of obeying it, everything begins to change. You interrupt the pattern. You step off the treadmill. You reclaim the one thing the system can't offer you.
Wait, if you or someone you know was detained at
Yo,
any
yo,
Michigan
yo,
juvenile
grab
detention
your 40 and check your rollie.
You reclaim the one thing the system can't.
Shouts out to Beauty Conversation. You know, got some good news and got some bad news, bruh. Bad news first, you know I always do. The bad news is StreamYard won't let me upload new music or play my music anymore. Ooh, right? They want me to upgrade. And I think it's because of my last two Fuck the Government podcasts as I reached the motherfucking milestone. I'm like 300. I'm like, and plus a person in the comment was like, this video was recommended to me. I'm like, damn, when the fuck the government podcast get recommended? Like, wow. You know? So, but like this was a shot at me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just tooting my own horn being funny. But like at the end of the day, for those that had this feature where they was playing their music for free on StreamYard, I know they affected by it too. So like it ain't just me. So like I just want to toot my own horn because it's fuck the government over here. And but yeah, there's some bullshit. And like plus they didn't say the shit was for a limited time. They was gonna do this shit. So it's like goddamn. But I can't get entirely upset because when I started the Fuck the Government podcast, I didn't have no music. So it was just all informative information and me ranting about what the fuck the government doing. Hashtag fuck big tech, and the CIA and all they bullshit. But make sure y'all subscribe to Bearded Conversation, man. Now, I know for a fact that he got the upgrade. So y'all want to hear my music? Go over there. Yeah, been a whole bunch of people that I subscribe to that play my music. So in the words of Cedric the Entertainer from the movie Be Cool, spin my records. Spin my records. Yeah, man, but like in reality, all I gotta do is get a credit card, but I don't have a job that has our check going towards a credit card. We still get that paper check. So so all I gotta do is just get a car, keep money on it, so I could be able to pay for the upgrade. Like if I want to play my shit. But like at the end of the day, in the words of Dave Chappelle, I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. Fuck Nick Cannon. I'm gonna play this shit. Shouts out to Building Conversation. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel, bro. Great content, great topics, and great, phenomenal music. You know what I'm saying? We hit this bit. Of course, StreamYard would do that It's all bullshit. I think somebody came to StreamYard was like, yo, Hurricane is really popping over there on the YouTube streets, even though he got less than 1,000 subscribers. But that message is getting out there. So get that nigga to stop playing fucking revolutionary music. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of him. But I thought I was going through this shit though. But the phone agrees with me though. Ding. Everything is better with a beard. So what? Why did I highlight that? You nigga, you wildin' though. What up though? Right. DJ Quick, Kid Capri. Oh, you must be Jimmy Walker. You're nothing. You know, oh, that you know, get that. So shit me. Oh man, I immediately thought about that fucking movie, dog. Oh, you must be Jimmy Walker. You're nothing. Come on, boy. Big gang in the building. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. In the beginning, Chuck Norris punched God with his beard. Chuck Norris, chapter 1, verse 1. On the third day of creation, Chuck Norris. Never mind, I ain't gonna say that, man. That shit got me kicked off of TikTok. Hey, Dollar, hey for horses. Man, that movie is a blueprint for all stripper life.
Awareness, and from awareness comes choice, and from choice comes power, not power over others, but power over yourself. Epictetus was a slave, his entire life owned by another. No property, no status, no power, at least not in the way society defines it. But despite his chains, he became one of the freest men in history. He said, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Let that land. Because the world today has flipped that on its head. We think freedom means permission. Freedom to say anything, buy anything, be anything. But real freedom, it's not doing what you want. It's being free from being led by every want that appears. You don't own your life. If every insult controls your mood, you don't own your time. If every notification hijacks your focus, you don't own your choices. If every fear whispers in your ear and you listen. Epictetus understood. Freedom isn't about changing the world around you. It's about mastering the world within you. So ask yourself, what inside you is yours? And what have you just inherited from culture, family, media? Do you get angry because you were truly wrong? You've never learned how not to be manipulated by someone else's words. Do you fear rejection because you're alone? Terrified of meeting the emptiness inside you when no one's watching. Most people walk through life reacting to ghosts, reflexes installed by a system that never asked for their permission. But the moment you begin to ask, is this thought mine? Is this belief mine? Is this fear mine? The chains begin to loosen, because now you're not just reacting, you're investigating. And the moment you start to question what controls you, you start becoming someone who can't be controlled. And that is the essence of freedom, not permission, not power, but clarity, the kind that no one can give you and no one can take away. The greatest trick of modern power is convincing you that it lives outside of you, that someone out there, a leader, a government, a corporation, is holding the reins. But here's the truth. No one needs to control you from the outside if they've already trained you to control yourself on their terms. If you can't govern your cravings, you'll buy whatever makes them feel better. If you regulate your emotions, you'll believe anyone who gives you hope, stokes your fear. If you don't know who you are, you'll conform to whatever the culture hands you, just to feel like you belong. And the system knows this. Politics doesn't need to be honest. It just needs to trigger fear, so you vote for safety, not sovereignty.
I was making so much money with DoorDash. I wanted to earn money in my free time, but I didn't want to go out and get a boring 9 to
Vote for safety, not sovereignty. Marketing doesn't care about your growth. It just needs you to feel like you're missing something. So you consume to fill the hole. Pop culture doesn't need truth. It just needs everyone dancing to the same song. so the outliers feel like threats. You see,
All around the world, same song. All around the world, same. I know y'all thought about that. I know y'all thought about that. Don't lie to me.
external control is an illusion. The real control happens in your habits, your impulses, your unquestioned responses. It's not about force, it's about frequency. Repeat the same pattern often enough. Soon you mistake it for your own nature. But here's the catch. A system built on unconscious reflex only works when you don't realize what's happening. The moment you ask, why am I doing this? Who benefits from this reaction? Everything starts to unravel because now the control loop is visible, and what's visible can be broken. You don't.
That's 2 out of 4. That's 2 out of 4. There's 4 people in my life. That's what it say. And I got 2 people that say, yep, I thought immediately about that fucking song. See, that's frequency and connection. Y'all are in other states right now. But that psychic connection to flow like that, man, that is fucking powerful. And that's on a micro level. On a micro level. Picture on a macro level. Man, I have this whole world jumping. Viva la revolution.
To escape the world. You just need to escape the version of yourself that the world taught you to become. And that begins not with rebellion, but with responsibility. Not by attacking the system, but by reprogramming the only thing that truly
Yep. Rudolph Steiner. Yep. Oh. I think I read a couple of his things, and that's just because of Bobby Hemmett. That's because of Bobby Hemmett. Because like he kept on mentioning him. I'm like, who the fuck is Rudolph Steiner? And I looked it up a couple times. I was like, okay, let me write down some notes. But like I never went back to it. But I remember taking my notes. This was a minute ago. Too. So you let me know. I'm about to go back to Rudolph Steiner. Yeah. Got some more videos.
uses to control you. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life.
$300? Man, that's a QP, man. So fuck it, I might get one for like 155. I might see if they got a free PDF of that, so I can save some money. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. Fuck.
And you will call it fate. For most people, that's exactly what's happening. They don't choose how they act. They react without even knowing why. They aren't being forced. They're being triggered by buried fears, by unresolved shame, by beliefs they never chose, but absorbed. And here's the most uncomfortable truth. The person who can't see their own darkness will always be ruled by it. You don't need to be evil to be dangerous.
That's a bar. You don't gotta be evil to be fucking dangerous. That's why them. Oh my god, nigga. That's why I made a song called Darkness. I harness the power. You gotta motherfucking listen to Brother Panic. You gotta motherfucking tap into that motherfucking shit that man, bro. Chaos theory. Man, y'all better motherfucking get hip. Brother Panic was on it. Bobby Hemmett was on it. It's like, man, you gotta embrace that. This is our power. This is our power.
To be unconscious, unaware of the forces inside you pulling strings you think all the system really for you to stay distracted from the real battlefield, the one inside out and rebel. As long as you never pause and ask, am I doing this because I want to or because I'm afraid not to? Do I believe this or do I just fear what happens if I don't? Whose values am I living by? See, as long as those questions remain unasked, you remain programmable. But the moment you start to observe, the moment you create distance between the trigger and the reaction, you begin decoding the invisible script. You begin making space for choice, for clarity, for sovereignty. And that's where real power is born. Not in dominating others, but in becoming immune to manipulation. Because the person who sees their own shadow, who names their own fears, who owns their inner chaos, cannot be hijacked.
That's right. You gotta own it. You gotta own it. You know, I don't know if y'all played this video game called The Sewer's Wrath. This shit came out on Xbox 360 back in the day. It's a game about gods and shit. And like, there's one character named August. I swear to God, this nigga owned this shit. This nigga was like, I don't fight for good, and I don't fight for evil. I just fight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta own it. Own the darkness. Own the chaos. You know what I'm saying? Own that shit. Just be the true, authentic version of yourself, and don't be afraid to be who you are because you want to fit in with society. Fuck society. Like Rambo said, fuck the world. Old men talk, young men die. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say, fuck this shit. You know,
By someone else's agenda, they become calm in conflict, still in chaos, free in a world built on invisible cages. And here's the paradox.
and here's the paradox. Skirt. Before that paradox, the path of the adversary. Yeah, yeah, powerful shit. Once the science is yup, is understood, understood. As long as we gonna stand on this truth, that's right. Because it gives me more motivation to take down the government to let me know that I can do it. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? Shit, purpose is for everybody to breathe clean air, to drink clean water. I wish this was for my own selfish needs, for me to just to run my own area and be like, yeah, now I control the United States. No, 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 no. Fuck all that. I want the whole world fucking free. But they gotta free their mind first. They gotta do the inner work, they gotta do the shadow work. You know what I'm saying? And plus I understand not everybody is gonna be on the battlefield with me pulling the trigger. There's gonna be people that's gonna be tilling the land, taking care of the kids and the animals, watching the fort, building weapons and Mad Max level shit. You know what I'm saying? I understand like everybody gonna have a different position. But long as everybody is on that one goal, freedom for all. Reading books hurt my neck. My head is too heavy. I turn that audio book on real quick. But I do like to have my neck hurt a couple times because just something about like reading the book and turning the page. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the smell of the book or just knowing that I'm about to indulge in a whole new world and just expand my imagination. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I blame reading Rainbow. I blame reading Rainbow. Shouts out to LeVar Burton, aka Jordy LaForge from Star Trek: The Next Generation. That was the only reason why I watched it when it first came out. And then Captain Jean-Luc Picard started giving these impactful speeches that changed my life. Shit that I applied to my life to this day. Fuck a Jesus. I learned from Captain Jean-Luc Picard and Captain Benjamin fucking Sisko from Star Trek. I learned from Mr. Feeney from motherfucking Boy Meets World. I learned from the black teacher that was on the movie Trippin' that came out in 1999. Nigga, fuck a fucking Bible. I learned more from Bruce Lee than any motherfucking thing. In Vogue. Free your mind. Oh shit, that's some bad bitches. God damn it. I didn't know how they look now. I know they on cougar level status now. I feel that. Yup. Free to be dumb in most cases. Yup. Shouts out to Jordan. Hey yo, I got good news and I got bad news. Okay, pause though. Like to have my neck. Oh damn, I gotta say pause. Oh, pause. Pause. Pause again for safety. God damn, man, bro. Thanks. Bro, see, that's why you my brother. I can't even put the pause up in my videos because I wanted to give you the bad news. I can't motherfucking share free music on StreamYard or even upload the music and play it no more, bro. I can't do none of that shit. So I can't even put the pause motherfucking shit up. Damn. But thanks, brother. Pause again for safety, man. God damn. Damn. I lose cool points for that, man. Yes, I'm still on that high school shit. Cool points. I come back with a so just didn't sound right. I feel you, man. I feel you. Pause. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say pause, granddad. Boondocks. Oh man. Peace and prosperity to everybody. Yeah, yeah, dog. I think like StreamYard did some new shit. I just, like they always motherfucking do shit under our nose without letting us know. It's just like YouTube now. Like they doing shit, that's under our nose. Yeah. They blackball you. Shit, man. Like I want to put it all on me and let me bear the cross of this shit, but like there's a lot of motherfuckers with free StreamYard that just went through the same fucking situation. So they probably just as heated as I am. But like all I gotta do is just get an upgraded plan. But I don't know how long that's gonna be. Pause. And God damn it, man. I get paper checks at work. Like, I don't get a credit card check no more. But I'm glad that I don't get a credit card check no more because like there's many times at my old job, motherfucking computers fuck up and a nigga might have to wait a week to get their fucking shit. And they still expect the nigga to work and we can't go on strike and there's no union and shit. Like you're fired, you're expendable. Because it was a parking job. So like it ain't shit. Yeah, they don't like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't like that shit. And most importantly, I'm gonna toot my own horn again. Yes, yes, I'm gonna keep doing it because I'm pissed. That Fuck the Government podcast, my last two podcasts was getting recommended. So like not only they was hearing some informative information, but they was getting some revolutionary music in the process. You know what I'm saying? So but at the same time, I also got to remember and not be too upset because when I first started the Fuck the Government podcast, I didn't have no music. So I got to be real with myself and be true to myself and just ran a little, you know what I'm saying? But it's still hashtag fuck big tech.
Don't become powerful by adding more, but by uncovering what's already there and cleaning out what never belonged to you in the first place. So, what does it actually mean to be self ruled? Not as a theory, but as a practice. Not as rebellion, but as presence. Because once you stop being controlled by what's outside you, you realize the real challenge is taking ownership of what's inside you. And that mastery unfolds in 4 domains. First, emotion. Most people react before they even feel. They flinch, attack, retreat, not because they've thought, but because they haven't. The self-ruled person doesn't suppress emotion. They observe it. They pause. They process. They respond with intention, not instinct. They're not cold. They're composed. Second, thought. If your beliefs are inherited, then your thoughts are rented. And anything rented can be taken away. The self-ruled mind doesn't borrow conclusions. It questions. It tests. It chooses what to believe based on truth, not tradition. Because if you don't know where your thoughts come from, someone else does. Third, morality. Most people live by a script they didn't write. They act good to fit in, not because it's right, but because it's accepted. The sovereign doesn't outsource their integrity. They build a personal code based on reason, reflection, and lived experience. They do what's right, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one's watching. And fourth, desire. We're told to want more, always more. More status, more things, more attention.
I started Tai Chi at 50. Now I'm 68. And doctors
Oh
ask
my
me,
fucking God, that is an AI. That is a fucking AI ad, dog. This motherfucker, oh my fucking God, I hate that shit. It's like, I started Tai Chi at 60. And then, like, nigga, you look like you've been beating niggas' asses since the age of 6, nigga. And your mouth is not matching your fucking words.
Attention. But the self-ruled person knows the difference between craving and calling. They don't chase to feel whole. They act from a place of wholeness. They know what's enough. And that makes them impossible to manipulate. Because here's the secret. When you govern these 4 domains, your emotions, your thoughts, your values, and your desires, you don't need to scream to prove you're free. You're no longer pushed. You're no longer pulled. You stand. And that is the quietest, rarest, most dangerous kind of power. Self-rule comes with a cost, and it's not one people talk about. You won't be celebrated for thinking for yourself. You'll be called difficult, cold, arrogant, unambitious, not because you are, but because you no longer play by the rules they never questioned. You'll stop needing what others need, and that makes them uncomfortable. You'll stop reacting how they react, and that makes them suspicious. You'll lose relationships, not always loudly, sometimes just quietly fading away, because some people weren't there to see you. They were there to use the version of you that needed them. And when that version dissolves, so does the dynamic. You'll be accused of pulling away, of changing, of being too much or too distant. What's really happening is that you're coming home to yourself, and not everyone has the courage to follow. You'll look around and realize you no longer belong to any tribe. No box fits, no label sticks. That's the paradox. The more you belong to yourself, the less you'll be claimed by others. But here's the trade-off. No one holds the reins to your life anymore. No group, no authority, no ideology, no person. No one gets to press your emotional buttons and expect a reaction. No one gets to dangle approval and expect obedience. No one gets to define your worth because you no longer outsource it. And in that quiet exile, you discover something you never knew you were missing: sovereignty. You're not performing, you're not chasing, you're not adjusting to be more acceptable. You are finally fully yours. And that kind of self-possession, it terrifies those who still depend on the crowd to know who they are. But to you, it's peace, because when you rule yourself, no longer need the world's permission to exist. Here's the paradox. The person who doesn't chase power becomes the one others trust with it. The one who doesn't beg to be heard. It's the one people lean in to listen to. The less you need from the world, the more the world responds to you. Because there's something magnetic, not polished, not perfect, but unshakably theirs. You don't need to dominate anyone. You've mastered yourself. You don't need to prove anything. You've You're not looking for approval. So when you speak, it's not noise, it's signal. People sense that. When you don't fear being misunderstood, when you don't crave being accepted, you carry presence. When you don't flinch at rejection, you become impossible to threaten. And what's left is someone who's not looking to impress society, but to understand what it means to be real, to be human, fully, honestly, undeniably. You stop trying to be right in the eyes of the crowd and start becoming aligned with something deeper, the truth of your own experience. And oddly enough, that's when people begin to trust you, because you're not selling anything, you're not performing, you're not manipulating the room. You've simply outgrown the script. That's why those who lead themselves often become leaders to others. Not because to lead, but because they remind people what's possible. They are living proof that you don't have to be reactive. You don't have to be.
Just like the revolutionary off of Demolition Man. He was like, nigga, I ain't no leader. I just do shit and the people just follow. They was like, oh shit, nigga, that revolution shit worked. Yo, Hurricane, how do you shoot this AR-15 with a grenade launcher attachment? All right, come over here.
You don't have to fake your way through life just to be loved, because the person who rules themselves no longer needs to be ruled. And that kind of power, quiet, unshakable, internal, is the rarest kind of all. Not the kind you take, the kind you become. The world doesn't need more obedient followers. It doesn't need more people waiting to be told who to be. It doesn't need more performers chasing applause or rebels just reacting to the script. What the world needs now is sovereign individuals. People who are so rooted in themselves that no one, not culture, not systems, not even their past selves, can govern them without permission. People who question, people who reflect, people who walk away from noise so they can hear something deeper. You don't have to change the world to change your life. You just have to reclaim what the world convinced you to give away: your attention, your belief, your voice, your center. So let me ask you, what has been driving you that felt like you but was never truly yours? Was it fear? Was it a need to belong? Was it an identity that kept you safe but made you small? And more importantly, are you living a life you've chosen? or one you inherited, because there's a difference between surviving inside the system and awakening inside yourself. And once you awaken, once you see clearly, you can't go back. You can't be baited by the same promises. You can't be bullied by the same pressures. You can't be ruled by the same ghosts. Because now you see the strings, and better yet, you've stopped dancing to them. The person who can't be ruled isn't someone who overthrows power. They simply no longer hand theirs away. So here's the quiet truth. The one who cannot be ruled is the one who has learned to rule themselves. And that is how you become untouchable, not by escaping the world, but by finally belonging to yourself.
Woo! Message. Message. Yep. So I listen to all this to keep me balanced. So, like, on that day when y'all finally see me, it will be a stoic, revolutionary character. I want everybody to be free. Real shit. Motherfuckers rely on this government. My question is, can you survive without them? Can you survive without this government? Paychecks every month, the distribution of food coming in, and all this other shit. Can you survive on your own if I was to destroy this shit tonight? I just want you to wake up and be like, no more jobs, no more taxes, no more bills. Let me build this solar panel. Let's build a nice little water filter. Wow, no chemtrails flying in the sky. Finally breathe some clean fucking air. Can y'all survive without the government? Yes or no? Because I know a lot of brothers with some land that can say yes. We see Doomsday Preppers. We watch Man versus Wild and shit. It's fucking possible. The question is, are you too dependent on other people when you can just govern your own fucking life? On some real shit. I'm doing this for you. See, we need revolutionaries like me because I'm not compromised and never will be compromised. Ibrahim over there, all these distractions is to keep us from thinking about what's going on over there. But his cousin betrayed him. And when he asked this motherfucking cousin, why would you betray me? This motherfucker was like, they're going to offer me money and power. But not thinking about the common sense of, nigga, I run this bitch. You're my fucking cousin. That means you run this bitch. We got all the money, power, and hoes we can possibly need. What the fuck is your problem? The people that you're fucking with wants me dead, nigga. We need to govern our own selves. If the revolution was successful, the neighborhood would have to come outside and start talking to each other. Be like, okay, you know how to build this, you know how to build that. We know how to do this, we know how to do that. Let's work together and make this block our own. Little small little community or little pocket shit, whatever. There is a way for us to survive. But the question is, are y'all willing to put in the fucking work and till the ground? For real. Are you ready to motherfucking till the earth? Because the fighters, we're gonna have to be the ones that motherfucker put in the work. Not, you know, to protect y'all, you know. But everybody else that was scared, that was on the fence, that was, you know, I'm hiding. Guess what? When this shit is over, y'all gonna have to still till the fucking earth. Can we rebuild without government intervention? Can we heal ourselves without big pharma? You know what I'm saying? So that's the question. Case working on my stream yard. So if that's the case, then I just need a fucking computer. Yep. Shouts out. Facts. Shouts out to Big Dog Philly OG. I was ran. I wasn't even paying attention. I just started looking up. I communicate with 4 Idris. Wait. No. All right. Say I communicate with the ether. Yep. Never doing it wrong, but yep. I pull rounds from the ether. Hell yeah, we can. You see? I know we can. You know? We can do it. We can do it. On some Waterboy shit. And all we got to do is just do it like a Nike commercial. Yep. We got to tune in with them frequencies. Yep. Yep. Told you need a computer, bro. I need to get a computer now. Well, I guess it's time to price check some shit. But I'm paying so much money on this goddamn house that I'm in. And I got these motherfucking bills. But by it being the summertime, and I think I'm ahead of my lights, I could probably put some shit aside to get a laptop. Hopefully. But I ain't paying no more than $200. That shit gonna hurt my pockets, but it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. But I don't know when I'm gonna get it, but hopefully I can probably get a computer before Christmas. Hopefully I can get one before Christmas. I should or just open up a GoFundMe or just say hit my cash app. Hurricane Computer Fund. That's very fucking transparent. Other motherfuckers be lying like a motherfucker. Yo, nigga, y'all shit going straight to my fucking computer. They're like, yo, y'all cash apps and y'all donations got this computer, y'all. I would like to thank y'all and all this shit. I see that in the future. In the parallel universe. Because everybody got bills and shit to do. Over here in this realm, because we got to deal with inflation in the parallel universe. Trump got rid of inflation on day one, like he said. Or maybe in all the parallel universes, we all fucked in the cyberpunk dystopia. You should be good there, yep. So you just be rocking off the phone, huh? Yep. I be rocking off the phone, huh? Yep. On some juvenile shit. Yep. Yeah. Okay, cool. The Entertainer, Jordan. Spin my records. Spin my records, so I'm gonna be cool. You all got those. Yeah, you can find one for $2. Yep. Hell yeah. I'm gonna be shopping on Amazon when I get off of this bitch and see how much I can get. As a matter of fact, I could probably hit my homeboy up and be like, like get the shit for me, and I'll pay him the bread, and all I gotta do is just wait for my package. Pause. God damn it, man! You're killing me with this shit. Damn, man. About to open up a pattern dog. I gotta work tonight, dog. We got the Tigers game today. But like if the motherfucking rain delay happens, I'd definitely be on. But like I might, like pop up in the chat to say salute, dodging cameras and shit. But I would love to hop on a fucking panel, but god damn it. We'll see what's popping with this weather because it's been raining on and off with scattered thunderstorms. And plus the Tigers can't play in thunderstorms. But they said the game starts at 4:10. So like Tigers might be playing right now. And they're gonna want me in like an hour before game in. Yep, I should be leaving in a minute. God damn, I'm going ahead of my time over here on this free StreamYard shit. I probably got like 3 hours and some odd minutes left. I gotta ration my time. But what time we going live? All right, you going live at 7:15. All right, wait a minute. Let's see. Like when I leave out the door. I gotta find out when they want me there. Look, but I think they said 9, but they say 9. I bust up at 7, so I can hop on that freight and be there early. Y'all wildin'. Well, let me get up out of here, y'all. That was Earl Nightingale on the first video, and the last video that y'all just heard was from Friedrich Nietzsche. I listened to him too, and I just found this other guy named Haggle, like he in my motherfucking community post. But yeah, though, I thought this would be a good message for everybody to hear today. Like hopefully, they take the message, take the truth, probably take it life and keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? And just shouts out to everybody coming through. And make sure y'all subscribe to everybody. Everybody subscribe to everybody. Shouts out to Jordan. Shouts out to Ray. You know what I'm saying? Ray in the building. Shouts out to Note. Shouts out to Bearded Conversation in the building. You know what I'm saying? Great channel, great music, great content. Who else was in here? Shouts out to Big Dog Philly OG. Who else was here? Who else was here? I know we had some more. I know my girl Crystal was in the building. Shouts out to Crystal. You know what I'm saying? Who else was here? Man, like y'all was lighting up this chat. I'm trying to scroll all the way to the top, make sure I ain't miss nobody. Yep, I think that was it. That was it. Like if I missed anybody, my bad. Oh yeah, yep. Charles was in the building too. Shout out to Charles. Yep. Yep. And that's everybody. Shout out to everybody. This was Earl Nightingale and Friedrich Nietzsche. And just wanted to give a little quick message, before I go into work and tell the news on my progress over here with this goddamn shit that I just found out at the beginning of the stream. I can't play my music no more, but I can't get upset because like in the beginning of all my podcasts is I ain't had no music. So, so I can't get too upset. All I gotta do is get a computer. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, like if I want to advance in this shit, I gotta motherfucking adapt and let's just say upgrade. Just like I have to upgrade my phone. So like when I get phone calls, my shit won't cut off. Like I got like 3 phone calls in the middle of my live, but ain't nothing happened to my internet. So I'm glad everything played out cool. I'm surprised my shit ain't going in and out because it's storming right motherfucking now. So it's like, well, okay, I got a cool day. And I think the powers that be is rubbing their hands like Birdman, like, yes, he got him, but he learned too quickly. Damn, we got to watch out when he get that laptop. We're going to hack that bitch with malware. But anyway, shit, man. I'm too much a motherfucking conspiracy theory. But shouts out to everybody coming through. It's your man Server K. Tell you what to do. I catch y'all on the next one. Jordan going live at 7, so make sure y'all go over there. The building conversations go live around like 10. You know what I'm saying? But make sure y'all go over there, and I go live whenever I feel like it, or when I get these StreamYard minutes back up. So I might be just making short clips and some shorts, and probably add my music video at the end of the video like I usually do. So shouts out to everybody coming through. If there's a will, there's a way. I'm out. Peace.